Over the last few years, the Indian market has obviously become of more and more interest to international companies as the growth rate went up, stayed up. The last couple of years have been more difficult, and I think we're seeing now a much more mixed performance from the markets. But international companies are still looking to India as one of the world's great centres of economic growth, as one of the key markets for the future, as the balance of economic power in the world moves from the West across to Asia. India is obviously going to have its place. I think just at the moment, because of political uncertainties and a slight economic downturn, the prospects are a bit more challenging. But to be honest, from my perspective as an international businessman here, that's probably in the long run going to be a good thing. People have to learn in this marketplace that things can go down as well as up, and companies coming in here recognize that they need to be here for the long run, that they need to reckon on having a proper presence here, and that's the sort of area that having a business centre in the heart of the capital can really help with. At the moment, India is feeling that the growth rate that it's looking at is modest relative to what it had for the latter years of the last century. And whilst those of us internationally who look at that understand that disappointment, there was an aspiration that India might cross the double-digit growth mark. Of course, relative to most of the world, India's growth rate remains very strong. There are a lot of challenging factors, in particular, that in order really to reduce poverty the way it needs to, in order to drive its infrastructure sector, in order to make sure that capital markets function, that growth rate will need to come up. But at the moment, in relative terms, if you look around the world, there's no question that the Indian economic story remains an attractive one for companies looking for places both to invest and to do business.